Pictures.
It's like unprofessional that I
go.
have my water bottle on the table.
No.
Or does it matter?
No, we're here. We gotta make sure. I'm still learning names too.
Well, good thing.
You're Ella, right? And
Yeah.
you're Sara.
Yeah.
You're Jack. Got that one.
You got it right.
All right.
4 for 4.
Good thing we were gonna tell you at the beginning of our.
Well, I just was gonna write there, so
Well, it's in our presentation, so we're doing it anyways.
that's perfect, actually.
Good deal.
Oh, butterfly garden. I have butterfly effect as one of them. Okay, you guys start whenever.
This is our presentation for our butterfly garden concept for Camp Courageous. I'm Jack.
I am Taylor.
I'm Ella.
And I'm Sara. Okay, the goal of this project is to provide a more nature outlook for campers that go to Camp Courageous. Also to learn a little more information about butterflies. In the rest of the presentation, you'll kind of learn like our goal for the butterfly information. We also want campers to enjoy the activities along our pathway through the garden to provide a fun experience. Okay. When looking at the process, we have to look at different costs from different stores and comparing them to other prices. When comparing, we don't look for best, but what works, especially when looking at ADA rules. For example, the sidewalk layout had to adjust to ADA rules that had to be about 6 feet wide in order for campers that are in wheelchairs to get have accessibility to get through sidewalks along with other campers going through the sidewalk. We had to get certain materials needed to ensure success for those projects as far as like activities and having different things to go along the path.
For activities, we're planning on having them along the pathways of the garden, such as hopscotch, a board game, like jump 5 times on this square, spin in a circle, just to
I'm sorry, I love that. Oh my gosh.
just to make it more interactive and more inclusive for the campers.
So we also thought about irrigation a lot, and we decided to base it off what's somewhat already at Camp Courageous in a solar a drip irrigation. So the way this is supposed to work is that we take advantage of the natural water source that is nearby the garden, and so it would be controlled by the solar panel, so it would detect sort of when it needs to be watered, and when it needs to be watered, it just kind of go through the pipes and drip onto the plants underground. We'll probably need to trench the garden before we start planting, and the idea is that it'll just drip the roots, it'll water the roots, which is a very efficient way of, just watering, and because you don't need to use as much water as it won't be lost to evaporation, and this is very low maintenance as we can just automate it through solar. So a rough estimate of our overall cost is about $5,000, and they're the items we'll need to purchase. And we plan to get this funding through talking to local businesses and reaching out to current Camp Courageous and donators. Just sort of ask them, hey, can you help us out? We're trying to build this butterfly garden, and we'd love to have your support. We could probably offer them to donate, so they could donate, and we could have their name sort of on like plaques. This is like so-and-so's bench, and it'd be a nice way to get some funding.
This is pictures of our 3D model that we created. So we have 6 different types of plants located throughout the garden, and as you walk along the pathways, in the blue and red colored areas will be the areas that we have the activities that Ella mentioned. And we also have 2 cement patches towards the back of the garden, which benches will be located at. And at the front, we will have the Camp Courageous logo stamped into the concrete for people to see right as they walk in.
This is a list of the plants we're planning on including in the garden. All of these were chosen specifically because they attract butterflies. They also are hardy plants that are commonly grown in the Midwest, so they can take pretty much any amount of sunlight and water, and they're also just very minimal care. This is an image of each just to get like a visual of the variety.
So additionally in our garden, we will have benches placed on the 2 concrete areas towards the back, And this is what they'll look like with a little butterfly on the back of them. And the purpose of these is for staff and campers to observe our garden and everything that's in it. Also, in our entranceway, we'll have 2 butterfly wings that will be located on each side of the sidewalk that people can walk through as they go inside. And finally, we'll have butterfly feeders located throughout the garden so people can watch butterflies eat and help keep it stocked as an activity.
So there were definitely some curricular areas that we could apply to this project. We used a lot of biology, researching plants that would not only attract butterflies but also thrive in the Camp Courageous environment. We used math to calculate the area of the garden, and that helped us find out like the amount we needed of stuff like concrete and plants, and allowed us to get a price for both those. And we also employed some architecture skills using 3D modeling software, in this case SketchUp, to kind of create a 3D layout of our product at the moment, our project, yeah.
I feel like there was some, other science too with the solar stuff and the irrigation.
Yeah.
I think that
Sort of
was
like an ag
great.
science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot there.
And finally, for our installation, we'll rely mostly on student and volunteer work to do things such as dig our trenches for our watering system and for planting the flowers and trees throughout the garden. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I wonder if he turned the microphone on. Yeah, he did. Okay.